been looking forward to this all day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are bringing back Collector's Thoughts, and of course it's me, your host, Respawn Granted, and as always, my co-host, Real Batman. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. It's very nice to have you back and bringing back Collector's Thoughts. It's been a while, so it's nice.
It's been a long time coming. I've had withdrawals, and
yeah, same.
You start to get the shakes, and then it's time to come back.
Yeah. It's always nice having a conversation, you know, especially with this. We have a lot of fun doing this. So I figured it was a great way to, we can almost call it like bringing season 2 to Collector's Thoughts. And I figured it'd be a good way to start would be with kind of how we started season 1, which was NECA and Super 7 with their TMNT line. Now we're looking at, I want to say it's probably a year and a half since our first time talking about it, and that video did pretty well. So I figured why not kind of do an update on that? What do you think?
I think it's long overdue. I believe we had some comments where people actually wanted us to follow up on this very topic. So
yeah, so here
you asked, you shall receive. Right.
So yeah, so there's been a lot that has gone on in that year and a half to 2 years, whatever it's been. I can't fully remember, but there's been a lot. Super 7, when we first talked about this, they were releasing wave, I want to say it was wave 2. They were on wave 1, they were about to release wave 2. Now they're up to, I think it's 8. NECA also was still having a lot of articulation issues and production issues, but they were starting to do pre-orders on their website. So that's where we were when we started talking about them. Now, fast forward to nowadays, today's date, we have, like I said, Super 7's up to wave, I believe it's 8. They recently were talking about a party wagon. And I know me and you were talking about this, and we had a lot to say about this because their price point was $499.99. What do you think about that, man?
I think that's asinine. I think that's a little bit much. Now you did a little bit more homework on, excuse me, on the party bus, still recovering from whatever it was that I had. I don't think it was COVID, but I don't think that it's just ridiculous. Okay, $500. I don't care what the detail is. That's a bit pricey, and I love Super 7 stuff. I think if you go back and watch the first episode, NECA versus Super 7, I was on the record as saying that I do like their stuff. I prefer over NECA. Not just because of the nostalgic, but the play factor, the articulation, what you get with them. I just prefer them. Nothing personal with NECA because I like NECA stuff too. But the party wagon, $500, that's a hard pass for me, man. That's too much money.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the thing is, beforehand, I'm going to be honest. As soon as I saw the price point, it already turned me off. $500 is a lot of money. I don't care what it is. So, we started, like I said, we started talking about this, and it made me interested. I really wanted to know why it was $500. And at around the same time that I started looking into this, NECA also, came out with a party wagon as well. But there are some big differences besides just the price. NECA's price point, I wrote down some notes. So NECA's price point is $250. So $249.99. So they're half price already. So right there, just on price point alone, there's a big, big difference. But I wanted to know why, because also Playmates came out with a party wagon for only like $30, which is kind of a re-release of the classic 80s party wagon.
Right.
So I was sitting there and saying, okay, we have 3 party wagons coming out about the same time. Very, very different in price. Now, the Playmates one, I mean, you can kind of expect, it's $30, $40 around there. It's plastic. It's kind of like that toy you remember as a kid. So that's what you're getting with that. Now, with the other 2, one thing I noticed with NECA which was kind of interesting, is that they released the party bus or the announcement about 5 months after Super 7 did. Now, could that be like a competition thing? Was it always in the pipeline? Because we talked a lot about that competition where one company's going to push the other one. So was NECA planning on doing that already, or was that something that they were like, oh crap, we need to push this forward because of what Super 7's doing? What do you think? Let's start there.
I'm gonna say this. Whether you like Super 7 or NECA, no wrong answer here, just like we did the first episode on this topic. I'm gonna say it again. Competition is good, whether it's whatever it is, whatever you apply it to, whether it's utilities, whether it's action figures, competition is good. I think Super 7, even if you prefer NECA, you should be applauding Super 7's emergence because they have forced NECA's hand at every level. They forced them to deal with the distribution. Mm-hmm. They forced them to deal with scalpers. They have forced them to go outside the box and make characters that we weren't seeing until Super 7 started announcing some of their waves beyond Wave 2 that had characters that NECA hadn't made yet. So even if you preferred NECA over Super 7, and there's nothing wrong with that, you should applaud Super 7. I think NECA did the party wagon in response to Super 7, and it shows in the price point. That's just my opinion.
Okay, so fair enough. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk about was the price point and how quickly NECA brought that up. Like I said, it was about 5 months later. So I don't know if it was one of those things where they saw it and then reacted, or if they already had one in the pipeline and brought it out earlier. It seems like I'm going to agree with you. I feel like I said, it was 5 months later. So it's almost like it was enough time for them to see what Super 7 did, kind of create their own version of it and at half price. But why is it half price? That's where we continue to go down the line. So let's see here. I even did some measurements here, okay? I mean, not me personally, the website, of course. But
the dimensions off the website.
Okay? Yeah, the dimensions off the website. Yeah, I'm not saying they're measuring.
Measure it. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't even have them. I can't afford these. But so the first thing I noticed is that Super 7's $500 party wagon is a little over 20 inches long, about just under 14 inches tall, and about 12 and a half inches wide. So that's a pretty big boy.
Yep.
Now it says that there's room for 6 ultimates in there. So it fits quite a bit. Right. Yep. That's what I said when I looked at that. I was like, wow, this is not a small thing. This is pretty beefy. Now you look at NECA's, they have for $250 half price, it's 14 inches long, 12 inches high, tall, and 8 inches wide.
Okay.
So at half price, but they're also almost half the size.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're also saying that Super 7's party wagon has plastic and rubber pieces, whereas NECA is mostly not. It's just plastic. And they also, for whatever reason, was a NECA store exclusive, which I found that kind of interesting.
Okay, so it's a NECA. Well, you know what? I'm not even. It's interesting, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
Okay.
Because if they put it at Target, the scalpers are going to rate it.
But are they at that price though?
I think it's a number of things. When I look at that, I think it's the price point. Mm-hmm. I think it's space. Maybe Target said, we're not going to have space for that in the NECA section. It's going to take up too much space. So they just decided to go on their own store. But so let me retract back. I don't think it's much to do about scalpers as opposed to probably retail space on the shelves. And Target's like, no, it's just not going to work. It's too big. However, it's interesting because even though they're half price, like you said, when you went down all the dimensions, the Super 7 one is almost double the size. And if I remember correctly, I think the detail on the Super 7 one is slightly better, is it not?
Yes. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue on down the line because just like how I said, Super 7s hold 6 ultimates, NECA's holds 4 7-inch figures. So they only hold 4. Super 7 holds 6. So that's 2 extras right there. The other thing too is the box content. There's a lot more in the Super 7, a lot, because what I'm looking at, the thing that they were on the box kind of advertising for NECA was LED lights. It fits 4 7-inch figures, and it comes with like, I think they said 3 accessories. It's like a chair and like a wall flip type thing. Awesome, really cool. You know, it's a cool looking thing. But Super 7 has, let me see, we have 7-piece tool set and toolbox, 4 turtle helmets, which is like a welding helmet, a flight helmet, goggles, stuff like that. Then let me see. You also have the damage mouser, 2 wacko bombs, sticker sheets, ooze canisters, pizza rims, boombox, radar dish, and winch and tow hook.
Okay. So, I mean, you're reading all that off, and the first thing that comes to my head is, it's the old saying, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So while NECA's half price point, it's not as detailed, not as big. And what you're getting with Super 7, much like their ultimate figures, you get more.
Mm-hmm.
You get more.
You do. And
you get a lot more. I mean, listen to what you just said. What NECA comes with is pretty limited. And then when you just said all the Super 7 stuff, that's an insane amount of stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's up to, it's going to basically go based on people's budgets. Okay. If you can afford either one, for me, based on what you're just saying right now, I would go with the Super 7. I can't afford either one, so I ain't getting either one.
Yeah.
So
I'm going with the Playmates.
Playmates one, it is. I was just going to say that.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, to kind of touch on your point, though, it's kind of weird. Like, NECA usually does have quite a bit of accessories and stuff. And that kind of gives me that feeling, once again, that we talked about a little bit earlier, was they almost kind of, I don't want to say rushed it, but kind of, because Super 7 and NECA, when you look at their figures, both companies are not shy with their accessories. And when I read this list, it's like, I was kind of really thrown off, like how much of a swing there was, not only in price, but in all that other stuff too. And it's like, I mean, you know what? Maybe NECA looks at it like, you know what? People are probably not even going to really pay $250, let alone $500. Super 7's crazy. Let's not even go anywhere near that. Maybe that's their thought process, and they look like geniuses.
I think it's a little bit of what you just said. I think they're just going to say, look, we're going to give a little bit less, but we're going to be more affordable.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, it's going to depend on people's budgets. And I'm going to say this again, though, because we're just getting started here. We don't want to make this too long. We want to make it watchable. We want people to appreciate it. And again, I want to emphasize, as the co-host, but he's the host, this is opinion based. This is not factual. This is just our opinions. Mm-hmm. There's no wrong answer here. We want to hear from you guys and which one you prefer and why. And it's not just the party wagon, even the line. But I will touch on this. I know it's kind of veering away from the party wagon. It's still NECA versus Super 7, no matter how you go about it, whether it's the party wagon or the figures.
Right.
And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, inflation is global. It's not just domestic. Right. Okay. And a lot of these import companies are still standing pat at the prices that they were a year ago. Meanwhile, NECA, Hasbro, this is not a Hasbro video, but I have to bring them in, have had a field day with raising their prices. I mean, think about it for a second. Now, and I'm going to say this in NECA's defense, for years, I felt like we were chipping them. Let me make this clear, because me and you have been on the record as saying, bang for the buck, NECA was very, very tough to beat, even with all the articulation problems. That being said, at $27, it was a steal. The sculpt, the paint apps, the accessories that you got, it was a steal. So they were bound to raise their prices. I think, which you rewatched it about a year and a half ago, I could have made a better prediction if I tried.
Yeah, you were right on. Yeah.
I said I didn't think that NECA would be at the $27 price point much longer. And I could see them going between $33 and $35. Mm-hmm. And they're right now, actually, they just went from 35 to I think 37 or 38 is what their ultimates are now.
Yeah.
There are some that go a little bit cheaper, but on the average, they like $37, $38. Mm-hmm. Why am I saying this? That's pushing import pricing. Yeah. So as much as NECA has improved their articulation, is it really worth that price point? About $40, and Super 7 is still at 45 to 50. I want to know what you think.
I mean, me personally, I mean, it goes more based on the character. If it's a character I really like, I will pick them up. I mean, I think NECA does a good enough job, just like Super 7. I think they both do a good enough job in representing those characters that I really like and really appreciate. So if it's something like that, yes. But on the flip side of that, if it's one of those characters that I think looks cool and I kind of thought about getting that extra, $5-10, I'm gonna be like, nah, you know what? I'll skip on that. Just gives me another excuse to not do it. So
I'm pointing at the camera, and you know why, right?
I
Now,
think so.
you did a review on your channel, and you did a great job on the Rat King 2-pack,
Oh yes, yeah.
which brings me to my next point. As smart as NECA is, and they are smart. And then, again, for those of you who are watching this one, go back and watch the other one. Go back and watch a lot of our episodes. I'm not a NECA basher. I love NECA. Me and this boy got a lot of NECA stuff. Okay. I hate their 2-packs. And that's where I give the edge to Super 7. If I want Rat King, I want Rat King. I don't want to get Vern, a character that I'm not interested in, and pay like $70 for a guy that just because for an extra figure that to me is a throw-in figure. I want Rat King. Just give me Rat King. And at $70, I can save the money and just go pay $45-50 and just get Rat King. What say you?
Yeah. See that I do agree. That's one of those things where, like you said, it stinks to get that double pack if you only want one character, because now it's like you're forced to grab that second character from NECA. Whereas Super 7, at least as of now, I mean, once again, they're only on wave 8, so who knows? But I haven't seen any 2-packs from them. So they're pretty much letting people buy who they want. They're making these characters, they're letting you pick. And the other great thing about it is, we talked about it last time too, the pre-ordering system. It seems like they're very regularly available. So it's nice, man. I mean, NECA has gotten better, but the problem is, like, now I walk into my Target or Walmart, I see plenty of NECA stuff, but I still don't see the classic 4 turtles, which is mainly what people want.
And Super 7 is still replenishing waves 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute.
Yep.
And their customer service, I'm sorry, is way better than NECA's.
I wouldn't know.
It just is.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the first wave of Thundercats, there was some problems with Panthro and Lion-O, which I didn't have those with mine. I got lucky. Mine didn't have any defects with them. I got these white boxes with parts for both figures, even though I didn't put in a claim saying that mine were defective.
Oh.
I guess they went through the list of who purchased or whatever it was, and I got those parts even though I didn't file a claim.
Nice.
That mine were defective. I mean, that is customer service. That's above and beyond. And again, back to your point that they're only on a wave 8. NECA's been doing this crap since wave 1. The 2-packs have been there from wave 1. But the interesting is they have released some figures on their own. So if you can do it with some figures, why not start doing it more regularly? Because I don't want Vern. I'm sorry. Yeah. For those of you who are completionists, I get it. You want Vern. He's part of the cartoon. I get it. For me, I love TMNT, but I just have no interest in Vern. So I just want freaking Rat King. Just give me Rat King. Yeah. So that's why I'm going to wait for Super 7 to make him. But to me personally, you can't go wrong with either line. Look, both lines bring something different. NECA gives you that cartoon-based stuff. Super 7 gives you that more nostalgic Playmate stuff. So it's something for everything. And again, it can't go without saying that Super 7's emergence has forced NECA's hand to take things just a little bit more seriously.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but they've shown it in stock. They've shown it in their, especially their articulation, because I've done some videos where they, some of their later line stuff, and it is night and day compared to their first few waves and stuff. It's even beyond TMNT. Like, I've done Terminator and stuff like that, and it's night and day between the original older school stuff to the more new stuff. Their articulation is much better. And I mean, hell, you can even see it in their Gargoyles line. I have Goliath. And then I recently did a video on
Bronx
and Damona. Domina. I always say her name wrong. But
Demona.
Demona, thank you. I always say her name wrong. but I did it on her, and it's a big difference. Like you can already see
Yeah.
that they did a better job on her, and that's in the same wave. That's right there. You know what I mean? They still gave her the stupid hard wings. I hate those wings, but it's just better altogether. You can see that they're progressing, which is nice. You know.
All right. So real quick, because I think you're in agreement that we've taken up enough of people's time. We don't want to make this too long.
Right.
So you're okay with NECA's prices pushing the import prices? Is that what you're saying? You're going to be cherry picking? Is that what we're saying here? Because
Yes.
I know that's what I'm doing.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like if you look at, for me personally, like if you look at the higher end import figures they talk about, I haven't really gone into that too much or at all actually. But if I was, it would be mainly Spider-Man, Batman, you know, a couple of my top favorites, and that would be it. Like I wouldn't be grabbing the characters that I'm grabbing with some of these other figure lines like Hasbro with their Marvel Legends. I would be nowhere near grabbing those figures. You know what I mean? Because, you know, $20 as opposed to like $50, $60, $70. It's a big difference, dude.
Well, I mean, Marvel Legends used to be at 20. They're now like 30 and up.
Yeah.
And the one thing I think we will agree with here, and I know this is not a Hasbro thing. I know NECA and Hasbro have been the two that have the domestic companies that have raised their prices. Like it seems like every 3 months they're going up. Mm-hmm. But like I said, not trying to make excuses for NECA, but at least their figures I can somewhat justify $37. But Hasbro, I've seen no improvement for them to justify $30 to $40. They've absolutely lost their freaking minds. But me, I'm definitely cherry picking a lot. I've cut back, but I still love NECA. But the fact that they raised their price points, it's forced me to cherry pick, man. It's just too much money.
Yeah. And that's the thing. But as far as like you said with Hasbro, I mean, you look at Hasbro stuff, it comes with like 2, maybe 3 accessories. And, you know, I mean, you can get into articulation and stuff with them too. They're not exactly flawless either. And like you said, man, if I'm going to pay that price point, I mean, granted, NECA doesn't have, you know, Spider-Man and other Marvel characters. I understand that. But I mean, for what they have, you get a ton of accessories. You get very nicely done figure, very nicely sculpted. So if I was to pick, I would go that way. I mean, hell, even McFarlane at their price point, what is it? Still at like $20, right?
He's the only one that hasn't raised his prices. I don't know how the hell he does it, but for all you McFarlane haters, man, you got to give the guy a lot of respect. He's not using inflation to freaking price gouge the consumer. So he's got my respect for that reason alone.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, he's got big name characters. It's not like they're nobodies. They're pretty big name guys. Batman and Superman and stuff like that. They're not slouches. So it's like, I don't know, man. There's plenty to pick from. And with all these different companies, everybody competing and everybody kind of jumping into that figure pool, it's like I don't need to get every version of every character. You know what I mean? Just cherry pick, and you know, prices go up. It's like you're going to make me be even more selective, which, you know what, isn't a bad thing. I mean, we both agree we have a ton of stuff, so it's okay to kind of be more selective about it, you know?
Indeed it is. But we want to hear from you guys. This man right here, he wants to hear from you because he's the one that's going to read the comments. He's going to let me know how bad I did, how bad he did. But we want to hear from you guys. Which one is it? Is it Super 7? Or has the fact that NECA raised their prices to pretty much Super 7's price point and Super 7's articulation still being far superior, accessories being better? We want to hear from you guys. Which line do you prefer? Because there's no wrong answer here. Both lines are great.
Absolutely.
Respawn?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, like you said, we get both lines, both companies, and I'm not disappointed. I love it. I love the competition. And the only thing I'm disappointed is that I don't make more money to buy them. So that's my level of disappointment right there. But
or put on an addition on your house because you're going to be sleeping in the garage pretty soon.
Oh yeah, I know, right? What was the comment you made? Funko moving in, I'm moving out. That's true, man. But anyway, dude, this was a blast. I'm glad we're doing this again. It's been far too long. It's always been fun, and you know, we're gonna try our best to keep Collector's Thoughts alive, keep it going, and you know, we'd like to try some other things too on the channel. We're open. We're all people, and we all have more than one interest. So as you guys see, I do video games, figures, statues. We do Collector's Thoughts, and maybe there's some new stuff coming around the corner too. So, but anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching.
Hit that subscribe button.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you guys very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay safe out there, guys.